Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Paul Spencer. How are we doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in. This is the Sixer post game wrap-up show, the final bucket. Listen, hey, it is what it is. The Sixers win tonight. They are 1-1, coming off of a game against the Bucks that they, hey, you're going against a three-headed dragon. You Giannis, Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, if you want to say, Drew Holiday. Tonight they stepped up. They won the game 114-107. After the first, we're going to be on about 15 minutes here. We do have another show coming on right after this one here. So I bumped them a little bit back to get this post game out of the way. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys checking in. 114-107. Sixers are 1-1 on the season tonight. Tonight, guys, let's talk about it. First quarter, basically. Sixers came out of the block a little bit of sluggish. Couldn't drop the three in an ocean. I mean, you're going from 3 for 14 in the first half for the Sixers, and the Raptors just lit up the place in the first quarter, first half, basically going 10 for 17 for threes. The threes basically kept the Raptors in the game for the first half here. Looking at, I look at it that way. You can live by the three, die by the three. But just go, the stats here. Embiid, a quiet 34 points. In game one, Joe Sullivan and I talked about the Sixers, how they looked a little sluggish. Embiid only played one game in the preseason, a little bit sluggish. Cardio wasn't there, of course. But going in tonight, Embiid showed me he can move tonight. Still gets the ball at the top of the key. I mean, he was actually driving in the paint tonight, looking pretty good. Last night he had a good solid 29. Tonight he had solid 34 points tonight. The first half, in the first quarter, he had 12 points alone. Tobias Harris dropped 5 points. To me, it was just a two-man game between Embiid and Harris in the first quarter. Embiid did have 2 turnovers, costly turnovers in the first quarter, where he's bringing the ball down, down to the ground again. Big man, you got to keep that ball up. But hey, he didn't play a bad game tonight at all. If you look at the stats for Embiid, like I said, 34 points, a silent 34 points tonight. Embiid only had he only had 2 turnovers the entire game, which is great. After the first quarter, he didn't have any turnovers at all. Let's go down to stats real quick. Embiid dropped 34 there. The other person I want to talk about tonight, Tyrese Maxey. I'm sorry about that. In the first quarter, he had 0 points. 2 shots in the first quarter. You got to get this guy the ball. He's lightning quick. He is one of those guys where it's like the fastest guy on the court. He can dribble drive you. When he played in Kentucky, he had that backcourt there where he was just dribble driving, looking for the open man, can beat anybody off the ball. He's worked on that three, which we've seen in that third and fourth quarter. He lit up the place. He dropped 34 tonight also. His point turnover ratio was plus 10 and assist ratio as well. I mean, he had, if you look at his stats as well, 40 minutes, led the way tonight, 12 for 20, 3-point line, 7 for 9 tonight. This dude was like throwing a golf ball in the ocean tonight. It's something that he has worked on this year. He's really shooting the ball very well. He is the one thing I really like to see going forward is a little bit more two-man game with him and Embiid, where I'm seeing Embiid pick and roll to the basket. Tyrese can dribble drive you. If Embiid sets that screen, which he was doing tonight to get the clear shots for Tyrese Maxey, it goes. When he's hot, and he feeds this team so well. I mean, you look at his assists tonight as well. He had 7 assists. Embiid had 8 assists too. Embiid's a lot of assists. A lot of them we see don't come out of the passing. But tonight he actually passed the ball out of the double team pretty well tonight. We always see him, bring the ball down low. He loses the ball, of course. But tonight it was something that he was actually doing pretty damn good. So I'm very happy that he's got in the blocks. He's making the right decisions, of course. But I want to see a little bit more of that two-man game with Maxey and Embiid. If we can get, Embiid to show what he did in the first quarter and throughout the game tonight, coming off that roll, even on a little screen there, dropping down to the basket, man, I just want to see that because that two-man game is unstoppable tonight. You think about those two right there, 68 points out of a combined 114. 55%, 56%, say 60% of the points coming from those two right there. He's a star. Just like Joe Sullivan checks in. Joe, you can check him out Monday night. Sully Squad, of course. Maxey is unlocked as a star. Exactly. He definitely is. I mean, we just got to unleash this kid. Looks like a young Damon in some ways. Joe, that's very true. The thing was with Maxey, as we, came out as a rookie, he was a superstar, running the court, speed, good dribble driver, but his shot wasn't there. He's learned to take that shot, and he's a superstar now where he can take that shot, look for the shot, and the kid has no ice in his veins. He will take that shot. We've seen it. 34 points tonight. Lightning on the 3-point line. 7 for 9 tonight. 34 points. Insane. And that's also dropping 7 assists. and 6 boards for a little man down there too. Dave Yarnell checks in. He says, big man with 34 tonight. I don't know if you're calling Maxey the big man or Embiid. They both have 34, but I get what you're saying. They both had him. 68 points combined for the two. I mean, you look at it. You look at their combined stats. 68 points, okay? 15 assists, 15 boards for these two. Great game. Great two-man game. That's something I want to see. Harris dropped 15. He had 5 in the first quarter. To me, in the first quarter was just an Embiid-Harris show where Maxey didn't take a shot. Tucker took 1 shot. Oubre got 1 shot at the very end of the first quarter. But that game I love to see. This game is showing me something. The only downfall I have is Tucker, man. Yeah, he made a 3 tonight. Let's all clap for him. Maybe, the Phillies gave Trey Turner a happy ovation, standing ovation. How about we stand up and clap for PJ Tucker? He hit 1 3 tonight. 1 shot, 1 3, 1 bucket, 3 points. But one thing I did see tonight, when he was actually on Siakam, he's a little bit too slower. If he can bang against somebody in the blocks, he's a little bit better. I don't like to see him guarding a solid 3 or like a power forward that can move. We seen that last night when he was on Giannis a little bit. He got burned out of his britches. When you get a faster guy like that, I mean, nobody can hang with Giannis, of course, but I want to see him down on the block against a bigger power forward. Something I really want to see, I don't know if you guys would agree with this here. I would like to see Paul Reed with an Embiid. Embiid playing the 4 or the 5, actually, because to me, Reed is he's a more guy that plays down the box, gets those rebounds. He gives me those hustle points. When I have an Embiid out there, the facilitative floor, playing that 4 spread power forward, and you put a Paul Reed down low, to demand the box down there, get the rebounds box out, you can open up Embiid so much more because he likes to play above the rim there. I'm not above the rim, out of the box, basically, since we're on out of the box, outside the paint area is what I want to say. But, that's something I like to see where they go, like Twin Towers here, because Reed brings that hustle to me. At one point in the second quarter when Embiid was out, it was actually Maxey. It was Maxey, Melton, House, and who the hell was it? I think it was Beverly, actually. They were running like a 3-guard situation, and that was where it showed me a lot of hustle because I'm not taking anything away from Embiid. He's a solid MVP candidate. Every year, the man can give it a drop, a silent 30, as Joe and I called a silent 20 high 20 last night. He can drop it in a time. But when you have a Reed in there, it's more hustle. Less activity on the offensive side, getting the ball with buckets, but he brings that defensive mentality where I love to see these two together because I think with Maxey, Reed, and, Embiid, of course, and then hell, you throw a Harris in there, or you could run and gun this ball. You could run and gun faster because Embiid is solid on a 4 spot. He can demand the ball up top. He can demand the ball down low. And I think Reed's activity would put them a little bit more of a fast-paced team. That's just, what I see. Dave says, nice win for Coach Nurse against his own team. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he went there. I mean, you walk into, a place where you're playing and you won an NBA championship with them. I don't want to say it's the triple bounce, that triple doink. We don't want to say that as Sixer fans. That's a bad memory in our head, of course. But it's right. Nick Nurse walked back in there. He knows the locker room. And it's quite a feeling when you're in that locker room for like 7 years, the home locker room, and you walk down there, the tunnel, and you look at like, wow, I used to be in that locker room. Now I got to go on the shitty side over here. The Raptors, the opposite, the opponent's locker room, somewhere you've never been. It's a foreign language. But congratulations, Nick Nurse. You got to win out there tonight. You solidly got to win 114 to 107. Let's see. We got Mike Mappernick checking in. Chip Tucker out the door with Harden. He is worthless, playing $11 million. Mike, I agree with that, man. I talked about this last night with Joe a little bit, and I was talking to my buddy on the phone tonight. I was going to read you PJ Tucker stats, okay? Of course, the defensive stats aren't on here. We don't see those in the box score a lot, what he does on defense. But I wrote this down here. When the Sixers have the ball, you're basically playing 4 on 5. This guy brings nothing to the table on offense. He's like that quarterback where you run a wildcat. You got, the Eagles. Just put it in the Eagles' perspective. You got Jalen Hurts out there. The man can run a wild, quarterback. He can run off the ball. He can do this and that. You take Jalen Hurts and you put him at wide receiver and you bring, some unknown cat, whoever you want to say, at quarterback to run a wildcat. You're taking one of your best players off the field. So basically, you don't even have to count for that quarterback playing wide receiver out there. So to me, you're playing a 4 on 5 ball here. I don't understand it. He's a good defensive guy, but he's getting banged in the block. He's too slow. And exactly for paying $11 million, it's useless. You know what I mean? I mean, this year you go against these better teams. You know, you play the Raptors, you play the Bucks. We see what Damian Lillard can do. Giannis didn't have a great night last night. He didn't have to. Holiday didn't have to have a good night last night. Middleton didn't have a good last night. He didn't have to. They rode on Damon's back. When you play teams like that, you're going to have to play 5-on-5 basketball on both ends of the court. That's something that bothers me as well. Mike says, this is one thing I do agree, Mike, 100%. Kelly Oubre should be starting when he averaged 20 points last year. Last night, coming off the bench last night, I mean, he showed me something and as well tonight. That kid brings you a spark. He averaged 20.6 last year, you know, for a non-playoff team. That's something I want to see. He brings that energy, but I don't know if he'll start. Oh, Mike, you let me know if you think he'll start, because I don't like Harden. I think Harden is a cancer to me. I want him gone. But you know what? I don't think that contract, you're going to get nothing for somebody. That's what I see. So I think he's probably going to stay here. It could be bad. It could be good, honestly. But if Harden comes back and he does a Harden job, I don't want Harden from Rockets. I don't want that. I want Harden to be the facilitator. Come out here and get me, 10 to 12 points, get me 10 assists, get the open guy looks. Because when you have a Harden like that and you play a two-man game, which he's great at, coming off that edge, coming off the pick, step back, drive, dish, whatever you want to do, that's what Harden's good at. We don't need to score. Facilitate the ball, come off the pick, find Harris, find Maxey, find Oubre, whoever's on the court. Drop Embiid down on the pick and roll, hit him for a lob, whatever we want to do. That's the Harden I want to see. $40 million for that? I don't know. I don't agree with that, but I don't know. I don't see what he's going to be. But if he does come back, Oubre is going to be that solid six-man off the bench with probably Melton. I think they give you a spark off the bench there, Mike. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's what I see. I mean, you also say exactly. PJ Tucker averaged 3 to 5 points last year. 3 to 5 points for a starter that just plays defense is useless. Why not keep Tyrese? What's his name? Thibault. Why not keep him? You know, you don't want Korkmaz out on the field, right? Because he can't play defense, but he gives you offense. Same situation here. PJ Tucker can't play offense, but he can play solid defense. Pick your poison. You know what I mean? That's just the way I see it. I will take a bag of donuts for Tucker. Hey, listen, I'd take a bag of stale peanuts for this dude right now, because my thing is, like, I love offense. You know, I love a solid defensive game too, Mike. But defense goes a long way, especially when you get to the playoffs, man. You know, you get to the conference championship, not even the conference championship, the playoffs. It's a seeding playoff. You need that defense because teams are going to play that solid 8 rotation, going 9 deep, maybe if you have that roster. Tucker just doesn't fit that scheme for me, honestly. You really don't. Oubre should be starting over Melton. I agree with that. I really do 100%. I mean, Oubre tonight, 18 points. Okay, Melton, 2 points. Okay, Melton, 1 for 7, 0 for 4 for 3-point land. Oubre, 7 for 17, 4 for 5 free throws, 0 for 6 for 3-point line. You're going to live by it. You're going to die by it. But Oubre brings that more solid, fast, lightning off the bench to me. And the one thing that we talked about last night on the postgame show, Joe and I, this kid lives in the moment. He's not afraid to take it. You know, you're coming from a new team here. You're starting in the starting 5. You're coming off the bench. But that first shot, he shot it up, boom, scored. Plays solid defense, and he plays good off the fast break too, which I see a lot of the Sixer team becoming a fast break team as well. And I like him off the bench. But I think if Harden comes back, Michael, I think Harden starts with, Maxey, of course, that's going to be your starting 5 there. Maybe the one thing that I don't want to see, of course, I don't want to see it really, is PJ Tucker in that starting lineup. If you think about it, who would replace him as a power forward? Maybe you could put I don't know how you feel about this, Michael. Let me know about this. I thought, I said this earlier, I don't know if you tuned in earlier today, we're on the show here. I like to see Paul Reed, okay, come in and play the 4 spot. He can give you points. He can give you hustle points. Take Tucker out of the game. Get him out of the game because he brings nothing. You put Embiid at the 5, or you put Reed at the 5 and Embiid at the 4. I think it's a complete mismatch all over the court right there. Both like to play hustle ball. Reed hustles on the ball. He can get you the boards too, and he can demand that. You could actually let him be the screen guy and let Embiid be the drop guy, down low. Play a twin tower game here. That's just the way I see it. And then the other thing is, why did we go out and get Bamba? I mean, he's not in shape. Why is he not playing 2 games in a row? He hasn't played yet. Why? I mean, Reed's playing good, of course. I mean, he's all right. 4 points tonight. Only took 4 shots on the field. But why isn't Baba playing? When Baba gets full rotation, I'd like to see him coming off the second unit, to expel an Embiid or even a Reed playing solid at the same time. Mike says Harden doesn't want to be here and it's going to make him life miserable and the team will go south. I agree with that. I mean, I'm one of the people, Michael, honestly, that I always say, I don't think we call it glass half empty, glass half full, but I'm the type person I don't want to discredit somebody for what they are right now. Yes, he was a cancer. He went to, he played in Oklahoma City. I mean, just imagine if that team would have played solidly, Westbrook, Durant, and Harden. That team probably could have had 3 chips already if they would have played together. But the opposing factor was Harden. He wanted to be the guy. He wanted the money. He left out. He went to Oklahoma. He went to, Houston. Wanted out of Houston. Gained 30 pounds, and it showed definitely. We know he can score 40-some points a game for 2 seasons straight. We know he can be a scoring champion. Didn't want to be there anymore. Demanded a trade. Where'd he go? Brooklyn. Same thing. Man, you had a great team. Durant, Kyrie, and you wanted out of there? You're a cancer to the team. You build teams, you break teams. Very simple. But I don't want to discredit him. I think he can be a superstar giving you points. I don't want the points from him. If it comes, it comes. We know in the playoffs he doesn't show up. He's one of those 82-game guys that when he plays, he scores. But to me, I want to see what he can do. I want him to become a facilitator. I don't need him to be that 40-point scorer. You have scorers on this. You're not the A1 on this team anymore. You're just a missing link, a missing piece to get this team to the championship, something we've been waiting for years. Number one, you have Embiid. You have Maxey, 2 superstars. We know Maxey is the promised future of this team. We know that. But, I mean, I agree. I agree with all your points, Michael, 100%. Melton's better off the bench. I agree with that. I think he gives a spark, and that's why I think him and Kelly Oubre will be great, 6-7 piece there coming off as a second unit. I think they will be solid because you have that punch where Oubre can score. Melton can dish the ball. Melton can shoot when he's hot. And I think that's going to be a solid 6-7 rotation there. Then you think about who you're going to have come off the bench too. Beverly's going to get his time to expel one of those guards as well. House has been playing. He got 2 points tonight. He can play. Danny Green is a missing thing where all he does is another Tucker. You have 2 players that can't play defense, number one. You cannot play him on defense as well. He's a shooter. He's a corner guy. I think, if you go over there, you'll see all his sweat in the corner because that's all he does is go to the corner on offense. That's all he does, But yeah, I mean, that's just me. Also, Oubre is tall and lanky, which exactly like he reminds me in certain ways of a Matisse Thybulle, honestly, that size, not the shooting ability, not the defense ability, but he looks like that guy, like a Thybulle. He's long in distance. He can take down passing lanes, of course. The passing range. He puts his hands out there, gets deflection, gets the fast break going. But the best thing about him, he's not afraid to shoot. He'll score the ball. That's the greatest thing. It was a great pickup for us this year. Michael also says, I like Reed at the 4, but Harris can stick the 3s. That's true. I do like that too. But that is one of the things too. That's why I was actually thinking about, that one there. You move Tobias, he can't play that 1 or 2 guard there. He has to play down in the 3 spot, which I mean, that's why I wanted to see. I wanted to see Maxey play the 1, of course, with I don't want to put Oubre in the starting lineup yet. I want to have him come off the bench because he gives you that spark. That's what I feel. That's what they need. Because if you go back a couple of years, the Sixers always had that bench rotation where the starters come out. Where are you going to get that offense from? Who's going to spark that flame? Who's going to take the shot? Is there anybody that can take that shot? Or will take the shot, put it that way. Oubre is that guy. But I would like to see Reed get in there a little bit more. I would love to see him how it would work, going against a bigger team down low. Like last night, I mean, Brook Lopez, Embiid didn't take the ball in the paint last night a lot, so Brook Lopez was demanding the paint down there. I would like to see him go against him and a Bobby Portis. You put a big guy on Bobby Portis last night with Embiid roaming as well. I think it turns out a little bit different as well. It's the first game of the season. You don't just throw it out there right away. But this is what I want to see moving forward, things like that. But, I mean, if you look at the stats tonight, I mean, Embiid 34, Maxey 34, Harris 15, Melton 2, and, of course, P.J. Tucker, hey, he hit a 3 tonight. 1 shot, 1 3. Congratulations. Let's give him a standing ovation on that one. Danny Green, wow. 0 for 1, 1 shot. Mid-range jumper, 0 points. Okay. Daniel House, 2 points, 1 for 3. Reed, 4 points, 2 for 4. Hey, 5 rebounds, man. 5 rebounds. And how long did he play? 13 minutes, 5 rebounds. That's what I mean. I think with him and Embiid in the situation, I think they could demand that bottom down there. I really do. That's something I want to see. Not every game, But go with the flow of the game, go with the tempo of the game, see how that works for you as well. But I mean, you look at the Raptors. I mean, they played great tonight. Scotty Barnes, man, 24 points. This kid was lightning tonight. 3 for 6 on threes, 11 for 16 from the field. Siakam, they held Siakam in check tonight, which I really love seeing that. 11 points tonight. Started out great. Siakam had 6 points in the first quarter, 5 points for the rest of the game. So they played solid D in that second half. The first half to second half looked a lot different. Fast breaking, defense was there. The Raptors lived and died by the threes in the first half. They went 11 for 16 in the first half, and in the second half they went ice cold. So it was a big turnaround there, of course. And then the one person I want to talk about is Grayson Dick. This rookie, man. I watch a lot of college basketball, and I tell you, this kid from Kansas, the way he came out, 19 years old, 5 for 9 tonight, 4 for 6 from three-point land, 16 points as a rookie. This kid's going to be something special. Give him time as well. But I mean, they do have a solid team as well, but we have the stars, man. We have the stars. You should be all right. So it looked good tonight. But let's go a couple more comments here before we get out of here, because we do have another show come on right after this one. I'm taking up their time, so I'm going to be about another 5 minutes. We'll get out of here. Mike says, well, the Sixers could use Oubre like Ginobili, just the fact of a de facto factor when who doesn't start. I agree with that. If you look at Ginobili, how he played in the starting unit with Parker, even with the days with Robinson and Tim Duncan, he was automatic starter. That special kick where he could play the 1-2, and they moved him down to the 3 a lot too, coming off that ball. He's a shooter. He defended well. He was that lanky guy with his arms, not the biggest guy, but the lanky arms. I would like to see that too. I like that because Oubre is that type of guy where he can play offense, he can play defense. He is that spark. I like that. If somebody doesn't start, he can move into the rotation. He can play that 1-2 and possibly that 3 because he has the size too. I agree with that. That's a great point, Mike. I appreciate that. Eileen checking in. Hey, Eileen, how you doing? Great win for our Notre Dame Irish today, Eileen, 58-7. One of those games where you can turn off, but I had to watch the whole thing because you know how I am. But thank you for checking in, Eileen. Eileen, Atomic Drop will be on right after me. I know you're waiting for that wrestling show as well. Mike says, the Sixers bench outside of Oubre and Reed are in trouble. I agree. Michael, I've said that, like so many times, even going before we did the show this year. The bench, man, what do you have off the bench? Honestly, you don't have any scoring. You really don't. Danny Green, just a corner pocket shot. That's all he has. Daniel House, same thing, hot and cold. If he gets hot, look out. Same thing. Paul Reed can score. I love Paul Reed. Beverly, what's he bring? He brings a mind case where you never know what you're going to get. You never know what he did have one nice play tonight where it was a missed free throw. I forgot who it was. He came up, Michael Jordan, from the free throw line came in, stole the tip, got a 2-point there. But the funny thing, that was his only 2 points. That was his only 2 points for the entire game. 1 for 2 from the field, 17 minutes. And then he had Oubre, 18 points in 29 minutes. I agree with you 100%. That bench, you see these other teams who they're building a bench. You look at the Boston Celtics, their bench is outstanding. The Bucks bench can play. You have a shooter like Grayson Allen come off the bench. That is our Oubre, that can score anytime the position anywhere on the field as well. Let's see. Beverly is good off the bench. He also is a true point guard, something the Sixers have. I agree with that, but you lack a lot of scoring too because he is a case head, a mental case sometimes. You don't know what you're going to get from him. So I don't think he's going to be that solid guy, but that's why I think Melton comes off the bench when Harden comes back and Beverly comes in for that, that expelling moment where if you want to play a head game, you get into somebody's head because he can play solid. To me, he's like the Ben Simmons that can't score, but can play defense man-to-man. He's the type guy I want to say when I coach basketball, I always had that one player where we know you can't score. We know you're not that good. You're not even going to crack my top 7 in playing. Well, you have 5 fouls. Go out there, play tough D. Hey, if it's the fast break, get the foul in. That's no problem. Use your 5 fouls. Give me some minutes for my starters. That's what I see Beverly. Mike says, Kelly Oubre might be trade bait at the trade. I hope not. Because you as you said earlier, you're getting something off the bench here, possibly a starter in many rotations for us, like a Ginobili, where if somebody's out, he can come in for the starting unit. He can play the bench. Last night I said, hey, when we talked about on this post game with the Bucks last night, Joe and I said, you think about Oubre, when Harden comes back, say if Harden comes back healthy as a facilitator for scoring, we put Oubre at the 6th man. To me, he might be that possible 6th man of the year here. I mean, I think he's going to give you a solid 15 to possibly 18 points a game for the entire season. I don't want to trade him because the way I look at this one here is I don't if Harden does go, because there's not a lot of bait for him right now. People know what he's about. And the only way that somebody's going to take him is going to be a team that's just trying to sell tickets. Hey, Harden, we're going to pay you the money. We're not the greatest. Go out there and win another scoring title. Sell the jersey, sell this, sell that. That's the only thing I can think of, because you can't give away Maxey. You can't give away Embiid. Harris's contract, I don't think anybody's going to take that. He has one more year left, or this is his last year, of course. But the players that I would love to see go, of course, would be Tucker. Yeah, of course. Maybe a I don't think Beverly's good. He's a journeyman. Nobody wants him as well. He's just a fit person right now. But guys, listen, I'm going to get out of here real quick. So final score tonight, 114-107. The Sixers are 1-1. We will be back, tomorrow. It's been a long day. I had 3 shows today and watched all college football. Sorry about my voice. We will be back tomorrow night, right about the same time, actually, tomorrow night. We do have the Blazers tomorrow night, our home opener tomorrow night. So if you like what you hear, come back and join me tonight. Michael, I appreciate you checking in, brother. Definitely do. Appreciate you. Last comment, I don't want to trade Oubre. I think Morey, who is horrible, will think about it. I agree. Morey's one of those types now. Don't get me started with Morey. Morey's one of those types where, I don't know, man. It's like a rattlesnake in disguise to me. You think about it. You brought Harden over here. He's your boy. You wanted to give him his contract, so you brought him over. You're bringing these players back. You're not getting the Houston Rocket, James Harden. Now you can't stand him. You want to ship it out. And I don't think anybody's safe on this Sixer team with Daryl Morey. Honestly, I think he's a rattlesnake in disguise. He'll get rid of you. He'll talk about you. He'll get rid of you. But I just want the best for the team. And in this fact is you, Michael. I want the best for this team. I'm a Sixer fan. I've been a Sixer fan for a long time. I'll be honest with a lot of people. My first team was the Boston Celtics as a young kid because I loved Larry Bird. That was my idol growing up. And then, when I started watching basketball, when I moved to Philadelphia, I became a Kobe Bryant fan my first year here because my dad used to take me to Lower Merion, watched all his games, of course. And then he went out to the Lakers. I said, man, being a Boston fan first, I can't be a Laker fan. So then I started really getting into the Sixers, so I became a Sixer fan, still a Sixer fan now, but that's just my take. But we'll get out here. He is a snake in the grass more. I agree. 100%, he'll trade you, Mike. If you watch this network and then you say the wrong thing, you'll trade you tomorrow, brother. That's the way I feel about him. It's just something he is. I've been saying, wow, that's awesome, dude. See, I'm the type person. I never spoke to Mike, personally, but I don't even know if we're friends on Facebook. If we're not, send me a friend request, man. Appreciate it. I love people that talk sports and understand it. I'm a Cowboys fan, as you can see behind me. I love my team. I'm 52 years old. I've been a Cowboy fan since 77. Won't change it. To me, you're a fan. If you love your team, you follow your team. Whatever you follow, just don't jump ship, man. I hate those people. I can't stand pom-pom people like that. I can't, But, yeah, I love it. Thank you for tuning in. I've been a Philly fan for 49 years. Wow, that's incredible, man. It's incredible. We're showing our age here, Michael. We're showing our age, brother. We're showing our age, but that's okay, man. But before we get out of here, guys, we're going to go through some sponsors here really quick, and we'll get out of here, okay? All right, guys, if you're in need of a lawyer, please call my good friend here, which I actually work at personally, 1-800-HURT-123, attorney Jason Fine, Big Al, motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workman's comp, personal injury claims, 3 convenient locations, office locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We'll start with Jersey first, the Garden State, Cherry Hill, 3 Garnswood Lane, and, of course, the City of Brotherly Love in PA, Philadelphia, PA, 1628, JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120, and at my neck of the woods here, Pittsburgh, PA, 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900, in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. Once again, that's 1-800-HURT-123. Attorney Big Al, Jason Fine. No recovery, no fee. If you take the case and you call that number, you might get me on the phone once in a while. If we take your case, it's 33 1/3% guaranteed out-of-the-box family discount rate. Also, guys, it is Monday. It is Sunday. It's about to be Sunday. It's Saturday night here. College football just ended. I've been up since about 6 watching college football since 12 to got to go back down and watch some more games. So tomorrow morning, Monkey Cold Coffee is in my system. The evolution of flavor-infused coffee, bourbon chocolate chip, toasted coconut rum, and the Samaritan blend for regular coffee drinkers. But now they have a newest blend. It's been out 2 weeks. Organic blend, Peru, La Florida. Make sure if you're a coffee drinker, use promo code OOTB Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com. T-shirts, swags, K-cups, cold beautifiers, tribal cups, you name it, they got it. It's an awesome damn coffee. And make sure you use that promo code OOTB Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com. And also, guys, one of our sponsors, Ultimate Game Day Mug, Dugout Mugs. perfect thing for any fan out there. If you want to call, cup out there, it's a baseball mug, baseball bat cut in half, molded to a custom design, whatever you like, custom engraving, whatever you like, they have it for you. Make sure you reach out to them. They'll get you taken care of course. And make sure you use that promo code OOTB Sports 20 at dugoutmugs.com. And guys, last but not least, here's our schedule just for this week. Some of the shows aren't on here this week, but next week, I promise you, we'll have over 25 shows live next week. So make sure we have live streaming 7 days a week. Trying to get 24/7, but it's kind of hard to do that, But make sure you subscribe. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We're everywhere. OOTBS Box Sports for all your live shows. And guys, this is my dugout mugs. Out of the box sports entertainment. My custom mug came actually yesterday. So I don't know if I should put coffee in that, though. I might just put some monkey coat coffee in there and just bang out two things at once, But, guys, I appreciate you guys checking in. Last comment of the night, Michael, you blew it with the Cowboys. I was just joking. Hey, I appreciate you checking in. I love all sports. To me, Michael, I'll just say this. I love my teams no matter what, through it all. I've been there 1-15. It's been 27 years. If you watch my show on Wednesday night, the 215 Boys with myself and Dave, my thing is 27 years and counting. If you're still with your team, you're diehard, you're a fan to me. But first and foremost of the NBA, NHL, I'm really not a fan though. But all my sports that I do watch, I'm a fan first. I respect all teams. I respect greatness. And I respect all fans that are the same way, that watch the game, not the box score guys. If you watch a box score and you talk about the game, then I don't want to hear you because you're reading something that anybody else can pick up on. If you watch the game, you pass the eye test, I respect you 100%. Michael, I respect all your comments tonight. Appreciate you. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. You can check out the final bucket tomorrow night, probably around 10:30 as well. So hopefully go 2-1 tomorrow night against those Blazers in the home opener tomorrow night. So once again, guys, I appreciate everybody checking out. I will see you tomorrow night. Right after the show, if you're a wrestling fan, check out the Atomic Drop podcast with Dave and Ken. They'll be bringing you all the WWE talk leading into next week's Crown Jewel. So for myself, Paul Spencer, thank you for tuning in to Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good one, everybody.